where the eyes are. Center one for introduction.
Hello, welcome to Dirty Talk. This is a Dirty 20 Nerd podcast, hopefully the first of many here at Dirty 20 Nerd Bar. The goal of this podcast is going to just be a place for people to communicate nerdy things. We'll have a variety of employees and guests on the show talking about their favorite nerdy things, anywhere from anime to video games, whether that's 3D printing or D&D. Just a variety of nerdy things for people to enjoy. My name is Jason. I'm the owner of Dirty 20 Nerd Bar. Behind the cameras, we have Rich Brumpton. This is all his equipment, and he's currently behind the control panel. Here with me, I have Sarah. She is a great friend of ours who helped us, did a lot of the legwork to help us get this place up and running.
I'm a laborer.
Yeah. Hours spent in the rafters cleaning and cutting out miles of old coax cables and network cables and stuff like that. Hot Shots did not do a great job of keeping their stuff tidy, so we spent maybe an entire weekend cutting all that stuff out. So
among other projects.
So just also a great nerdy person who I like to play D&D with. And this is Dirty Talk. So welcome. Sorry, this is our first time doing anything like this. I hope it goes well. I hope this is the first of many. And we're just going to kind of give an introduction. Again, I'm Jason. I own Dirty 20 Nerd Bar. We are a sports bar in Baldwin, Missouri. Not a sports bar, a nerd bar, a sports bar, but for nerds in Baldwin, Missouri. We're a place where people who like nerdy things, anywhere from tabletop gaming to anime, can meet and enjoy nerdy content.
Yeah, there's plenty of board games here. We put on all kinds of things from YouTubers live streaming gaming to anime to, older pop culture movies, things like that. So it's a good environment to go to if you're into that sort of thing. And the food menu and the drink menu is also a lot.
If you're also just looking for a chill place to spend an evening with a great lunch or dinner, we have a great food menu as well. But a little bit about me first before we really go into more about what Dirty 20 is. I've always been kind of nerdy, but
I couldn't tell.
I call myself a closeted nerd. I really didn't embrace my nerdiness until I was a little older. In my 30s, I came from a very conservative household where even today, I'm 35 years old, and my parents still don't like that I play Dungeons & Dragons. There was the whole, back in the 70s and 80s when Dungeons & Dragons... Early 90s, yeah. And it's kind of got a resurgence now where the church demonized Dungeons & Dragons, and that's kind of the environment I grew up in.
I did that with Pokemon in the 90s as well.
I was able to play Pokemon, though. Like, Pokemon wasn't a demonic thing for me. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was, though. It was people pick and choose.
Well, there was the Shadow Realm.
So it was. I came from that kind of background, so I didn't really embrace my nerdiness until a little bit later in life. Firefly, I think, was my nerdy awakening, is what I like to call it. I watched. I saw the trailer for the movie Serenity, and really enjoyed the feel of the trailer. So I wanted to check that out, watch that, really loved it. I was like, I'm missing something here. There was something more to it than just the movie. I knew there was. So my sister introduced me to Firefly. She was watching a lot of TV at the time, and we had the Sci-Fi Channel, and they were doing
It was just all downhill from there.
Yeah, it really was. They were doing a marathon of the Firefly series, and I watched it in one day. And
it's a good series.
It is a great series.
It's a shame
actually.
they canceled it.
Got into Doctor Who about the same time. Really loved Doctor Who. That was the prime time of YouTube as well. Epic Rap Battles of History.
Oh yeah.
Great YouTube back when Epic Rap Battles of History was great. There was the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny. which I can sing. Don't ask me to.
So I was on a different side of the weird internet, you know.
Don't hug me, I'm scared, right?
Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Annoying Orange.
Yeah.
Charlie the Unicorn, of course.
I loved Charlie the Unicorn, actually. I got into that one a little bit. Charlie the Unicorn, but not Llamas with Hats, actually.
Not Llamas with Hats.
No.
It's weird.
Llamas with Hats. I've been seeing a lot of clips from Llamas with Hats, and I wish I would have known about that. I feel like now it's...
You can't enjoy it because you didn't experience it when it
Yeah.
happened.
You kind of got to experience that thing as it's happening, not
Yeah.
20 years later.
I lucked out. My dad was a huge nerd, so we got all that from him.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate. Computer games, Sega games, old school. We started off playing Super Nintendo Contra at like 7, 8 years old, and kind of moved up to PC games after that. Sega Genesis in the middle, like Shining Force 2, and then Lion King, Aladdin, of course. But as far as, you know, nerdy stuff, I mean, we've always liked the, like, Labyrinth, you know, Dark Crystal, all the old classics. So for us, yeah, it was really
Saw
easy.
the Labyrinth, never saw Dark Crystal.
You know, it's probably safer to watch as an adult as a kid, to be honest with you. It's nightmare fuel.
And I think you made me watch Neverending Story, actually,
did.
for the first time.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to share my childhood trauma of the horse, Artag, and now you get to experience that with me.
Which one was worse? Artag or Artak? I'm sorry.
How dare he?
Artak or Full Metal Alchemist?
Oh, which one was more heartbreaking?
Yeah.
Well, I was a small child with the horse.
Oh,
So-
yeah. Yeah, okay. Before we trigger too many people, board gaming group for a long time before the pandemic. That would meet on Tuesday nights, and I would go, my wife and I would go and play board games at Fantasy Shop in St. Charles, where a bunch of people would gather and play board games. We did that for a while. Kind of got out of it after the pandemic, never really got back into it. My wife, who also that she would learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons so that she could then teach me, because I had expressed interest at one point. I had never played, again, I had the thought that Dungeons and Dragons might be something that's up my alley. I'm a theater kid. Don't judge me. I'm a theater kid. I love telling stories. I love playing games with friends. I don't really get into video games that are single player really easily. I love playing games that I can play with other people. So it was always Dungeons and Dragons.
He's an extrovert.
Yeah, I'm the stereotypical extrovert with crippling social anxiety. Yeah, so Ruth learned how to play Dungeons and Dragons for me, and on my 30th birthday, during my 30th birthday party, I got the complete starter set, the Player's Handbook. It came with what was the one, the first campaign that we played, the starter campaign, Phandelver, Lost Mines of Phandelver. Where she read through all that and ran the game campaign for us, taught us how to play. Well, taught me how to play. You've been playing. How long have you been playing?
Oh, showing my age now. Since 2004 or 5?
And that was 4E, or were you playing 3E?
Oh, it was 3.
It was 3?
Yeah, I think.
Did anybody actually play 4E?
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, we don't talk about 4E.
We don't talk about 4E. Nothing against people
So-
who like 4E. Blink 3 times if you need help.
But so you came. We had started Ruth, myself, a mutual friend of ours, Dave, which is where I met you, and my sister were playing. And then Dave asked if he could bring you. They were coworkers, and you came in and started playing.
It was interesting playing with a group of brand new people and a new DM.
And if you're concerned about spoilers for Lost Mines of Phandelver, you can.
We didn't
pause the
get
stream.
very far.
We didn't get very far. We heard about a green dragon in part of the campaign, and you knew what was coming, whereas I didn't.
They were all like, "Oh, green dragon. Well, what if it's friendly? Let's go talk to it." And because I can't metagame and the DM was staring daggers at me, I'm just like, "Yeah, sure. That seems like a great idea."
It was a small one. What harm could it possibly do to us?
Sure.
I still love the story.
TPK. It was a TPK.
Yeah. I survived.
Only at the mercy of the DM.
Only at the mercy of the DM, yeah. I still love the story that there was a Reddit story a while back where the one bard, the cultist took the bard into that tower, and the Green Dragon was like, or the cultist was like, we have brought you this sacrifice, and the Green Dragon looked at the bard and was like, what do you have to say for yourself? And he says, I have brought you this sacrifice. And the dragon was like, I like you.
Points to all the cult members.
Yeah. Great campaign. We then went into did a homebrew campaign for a little while. That was very Magic the Gathering crossover based. And then I actually homebrewed a campaign that was more high fantasy, Dungeons and Dragons, Faerun style, but it was my own homebrew.
Yeah, homebrew. And then we ran...
and then you ran a campaign for a little while.
we don't need to talk about that.
Okay, we won't talk about it. Well, as one of the people who do a lot of the role-playing in the campaign, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Need a little liquid courage, so I got myself a Rogue One. This is one of the cocktails that we have here at Dirty 20 Bar.
It's good.
It's basically our house old-fashioned that we smoke.
It smells like campfire and childhood memories.
So, when we were playing her campaign, I'm one of the biggest role players in the campaign, in our group. And I decided I was going to play Kenku, which was super fun. I super enjoyed it, and everybody loved my character. But when you're one of the only people that really know how to role play, and you're playing a Kenku...
The other role player is me, and I'm the DM. So that was...
Yeah, not a whole lot happened.
It's true. But I tell you what, Strahd, Curse of Strahd.
Curse of Strahd was not a great campaign to try to play a lawful evil character trying to
You did well, though.
I did my best. I kind of want to play him again. His name is Braxton. He was a Green Dragonborn.
Warlock.
The
best class.
Pact of the Fae Warlock.
The best class.
Is Pact of the Fae Pact of the Chain? Is it Pact of twice?
No, like your patron. It's
yeah. So the Fae patron Pact of the Chain. So I was sending my pseudo dragon out on diplomatic missions because I also took Voice of the Chainmaster, which means no matter where my pseudo dragon was on that plane of existence, I could see, hear, and speak through her. So I would send her off on diplomatic missions and be like, anyway, sorry, we could talk about...
Oh, the most impressive thing Braxton ever did was run that witch through the grinding wheel.
Oh yeah, that was so much fun.
That was good. Yeah. That was good.
I need a little help from my sister was playing a stronger character because I was playing a warlock, so he was super weak.
Yeah, not super beefy, but
yeah,
if you're bad enough.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah.
My favorite part of your campaign was the hourglass.
There's a dwarvish settlement underneath a mountain. The mountain itself was a dwarvish city. Its name is Flivavec, and below Flivavec was a mining settlement, and they would trade miners, people who mine. Up and down. So, like, they'd go down and they'd work for a month, and then they'd come back up and live in Flivavec for a while, and, so that sort of thing. And in order to make sure they were keeping track of time appropriately, there was a giant hourglass in the middle of the, what would be a town square in a mine. And this one, also playing a warlock at the time, most of the time, bamfed into the hourglass, just took a bag full of sand and bamfed out to try to throw off.
Overtime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
a few months from now, there might be like, you guys are an hour early, but a few years from now?
Yeah.
It's subtle humor. I enjoy it.
That was a good time. I really actually enjoy writing and playing campaigns.
Then we also did Tomb of Annihilation,
which I had to step out of halfway through because, well, not even halfway through. We were almost at the tomb.
Yeah.
But we got there about 6 months before this place opened, I want to say. And 6 months before a restaurant opens, there's a lot to do. So I was still working a full-time job at the time, too. So I had to step away, unfortunately.
But now you're running a game on Wednesdays, don't you?
Most of the times, if there's enough people. So we here at Dirty 20, we run a house campaign. Somebody who's in the chat right now, his name is Aaron. He co-DMs with me. Actually set in the same world that my campaign took place in 500 years later. So I'm constantly being like, so...
what happened?
So this happened? Do you remember what... yeah, so it's... but yeah, if we have enough people, lately we've only been having about 6 to 8 people. I probably should have stuck around in DM this last week because there were 12 people, but they came in late. So by the time I had made the decision that I was just going to go home for the night, I looked over and there was...
See, even with a whole nerd bar, scheduling is still the biggest challenge for any D&D player.
It's true. I mean, well, because at some point you gotta parse real life and playing a game. And at the end of the day, D&D is just a game. As much fun as D&D is, at the end of the day, it's just a game. And
also, it's setting aside hours.
Literal hours. Yeah, your whole evening is dedicated to a game.
There's an IT guy at my work who said they used to play like for days. Like they would just be in the same place playing for days with the whole table set up.
People rent Airbnbs. So they could just spend the weekend inside of Airbnbs and just play D&D all weekend.
That's cool. I'm a little too old for that.
I don't know that
a long time ago.
I don't know if I'd want to. I don't know if I like if I'm traveling or renting an Airbnb. I'm hoping I'm in a different city. I would love to have an entire D&D weekend, but at some point I'm also very restless.
What events do you have on the other days of the week?
Yeah, I got that a little bit further down on the list. We were still kind of talking about myself.
You've done that enough.
I have. Well, just so D&D, obviously. I also always wanted to open a restaurant since I was young. I was training when I was in high school. I was training to be a firefighter. I actually graduated high school with my EMT basic license. That's how far into it I wanted to be a firefighter. But in the back of my mind, I was like, I'll be a firefighter, but then, maybe I'll open a restaurant on the side while I'm a firefighter because, firefighters have so much free time. Decided I didn't want to be a firefighter because firefighting and EMS were kind of becoming one thing at that time, and I just decided that wasn't really for me. Didn't want to be an EMS person. I mostly just wanted to be a firefighter. It wasn't my thing. So got into retail, got into the service industry, really loved it. Always wanted to open a restaurant, even from even back in high school when I was trying to be a firefighter. I always wanted to open a restaurant, and then I got into D&D, and my wife and I would host our D&D game for the first several years. We would host it, and you have a bunch of friends over to your house, and while they do, like most of them, try to help clean up or provide food, at the end of the day, we were the ones.
It's a challenge.
Yeah,
it's like an event once a week at your house.
Yeah, exactly. And we all were constantly finding ourselves cleaning up after everybody, making sure the house was ready for everybody, making sure, we had to make sure it was clean enough to, even though they're friends, you still want the house to be, you don't want to present a dirty house to people.
Anyone who hosts understands.
Yeah, and we would constantly be like, man, wouldn't it be great if there was a place that we could go to play Dungeons and Dragons where we could have access to quality food and drinks while we're playing? Because game stores, fantasy shop, miniature market, game night, all great places, all great people.
Yeah.
And they often have tables, but they're first come, first serve. I know fantasy shop, I know a couple of them just have like 1 or 2 long tables kind of tucked in the back of the store. Miniature market has a lot of big tables, but it depends on the night. If there's a game event going on, then you don't have access to the tables.
It's also, if you're playing something like D&D, you're playing for hours, so you're going to want the food and the drink and all that stuff. And the game store's like, you could order food, bring it in, but like...
Why not in one spot?
Right.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, sports bars are nothing against sports bars at all or sports people, but that market's very oversaturated.
I could walk out the front door, throw a rock, and hit a sports bar. The concept of a place where you could sit down and play that kind of game, or just enjoy nerdy content, like I said, anime, sci-fi, fantasy shows,
I had Arcane on the other day, and I was just...
But it made sense to mesh the two passions together, and that was the birth of Dirty 20 Nerd Bar. And 3 years later, here we are. One day we're sitting down playing D&D, and I said, I think we're going to open a nerd bar. I think we're going to do this. And we were going through, Ruth, my wife, had a book of possible names, and I think we had decided on Bar None. Actually, was the first name that we had decided on. But it's actually a huge bar in New York. So if you search Bar None, there's a huge bar in New York with that name. And we were like, well, we can't really compete with that. So whatever. We were just reading them all, and none of them made sense.
Right.
Like, they were all great, but none of them were perfect. And one day we're just sitting down playing games, and we're rolling, and somebody got a dirty 20. And then somebody else rolled, and they got a dirty 20. And somebody else rolled, and they got a dirty 20.
And then somebody just said randomly, like, that'd be a great bar name.
And there we are. That's where we got the name for Dirty 20 Nerd Bar. So who we are, we kind of covered it a lot. We're a place. It doesn't matter what you like in the nerdy community. Like you said, we have anime, we have sci-fi, we have fantasy. We have tabletop gaming. We have board games. If you're here, we have things from Monopoly to somebody.
They have a big giant Connect 4 over in
We have a big giant. We have a small library that's community donated.
Same with miniatures.
No, yeah, and a miniature cabinet that's community donated. And we have a couple tables in here right now playing Magic the Gathering. So it's really a variety of kind of whatever it is you want to do. If you just want to sit and eat and watch nerdy stuff on TV, great. If you want to sit down for a 5-hour-long D&D session, fantastic. Or if you're just here to enjoy an evening with friends.
Have a drink at the bar.
Have a drink at the bar, yeah.
The food selection and the drink selection are great.
Yeah, something I've always been passionate about is macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, macaroni and cheese.
And it's been my comfort food. It's always been my go-to, just my meal. Like if I needed something real quick, I would just always throw together a pot of mac and cheese and hot dogs. You just get some hot dogs, chop them up, make a bowl of Kraft macaroni and cheese. Perfect meal for me. And there's been an upsurgence recently of macaroni and cheese based restaurants. I'm sure you've seen them on TikTok, all over they're in malls. They got standalone locations right now. Actually, Ruth and I, before we opened this place, while we were doing research, went to one in Joplin, Missouri. I think it was our anniversary, and we were like, let's take a day trip to Joplin and just try this macaroni and cheese restaurant because we're about to open one ourselves. So we drove out there and we tried it. There's a huge upsurgence, whatever the word is.
Words are hard.
There's
been a
new fad of macaroni and cheese based restaurants, and they're great. Like I said, I'll eat a bowl of macaroni and cheese. It could be Kraft macaroni and cheese. It could be instant mac. Those little bowls that you get at the groceries.
Yeah, the little microwave bowls.
Yeah, a convenience store. You just put hot
stuff.
water on it. Yeah, I will smash macaroni and cheese. But there's the versatility that you can have with macaroni and cheese. If you consider it a base, and you add stuff to it, it can be absolutely fantastic. So
Ooh, they had a brisket one. I don't remember what month that was. It was so good.
what month was it? It was
Brisket mac and cheese.
Yeah. I mean, the Jason special on the menu is goat cheese and hot dogs. Again, macaroni and cheese and hot dogs is my go-to.
It's good. When I order mac and cheese here, that's usually what I get.
A crowd favorite is the Blamco bacon cheeseburger macaroni and cheese. Obviously, hamburger meat, bacon, fresh tomatoes and onions, and our house-made mac aioli, actually, that we So we make our own cheese sauce in-house from scratch. And yeah, so anyway, I spent 2 years perfecting. I made them eat.
We've eaten so much mac and cheese.
Even at this point,
I was close to recruiting my sister to help you because I was done. And she's all for the mac and cheese.
even at this point, I like when I look at the menu and I'm like, what am I having for lunch today? I look right past the mac and cheese section. I'll still have one, obviously, but I'm more often getting our sliders. We have chicken and pulled pork sliders. The pulled pork we make here in house.
That's good too.
It's so good, actually. The two proteins we sell the most: chicken and pulled pork. And we actually just had to cook off 6 8-pound pork butts at the beginning of the week, and I'm pretty sure we are almost all the way through all of it.
Oh man.
So yeah, pulled pork and our roasted chicken are the two most popular proteins, because the chicken bacon ranch the chicken bacon ranch macaroni and cheese that we have is actually still one of the most popular macaroni and cheeses that we have today. Yeah, that and the Blamco kind of go back and forth.
That's a good tea.
Sorry, I just looked at my paper and there's.
I put notes on it and doodles.
But yeah, so besides mac and cheese, sliders, we have flatbreads, because honestly, the same ingredients that you can put in macaroni and cheese, you can throw on a flatbread. Chicken bacon ranch mac and cheese, hey, chicken bacon ranch flatbread. We have great appetizers. Ruth and I actually spent way too long parsing through all the different appetizer options to make sure that we had we picked the perfect ones. Because a lot of our appetizers come pre-made. So like the toasted ravioli, we don't make the toasted ravioli in-house. We don't make we have panko breaded green beans. We don't make that in-house. But we wanted to make sure that we were getting the good ones. So the toasted ravioli, we tried so many toasted raviolis. And toasted ravioli is fantastic.
Yeah.
But we tried so many that were too much breading, not enough breading, would fall apart in the fryer.
They usually had to upscale the size of the salsa cups because they're so big.
Yeah, it's true. When we first opened, we were putting the marinara in little 2-ounce portion cups and giving it out. And we had so many complaints of people being like, I can't enjoy the marinara. So we ended up putting it in these little white bowls so that people could actually dip the
They're good.
They're good toasted ravioli.
The flaming mac and cheese.
The flaming hot mac and cheese, they're called fireballs now.
Fireballs?
Yeah.
So
we take our mac and cheese, we bread it in flaming hot Cheetos that we puree into dust and then deep fry.
So good.
Yeah, it's so tasty. And then we put it, the ricotta bites, the Bite Club is what we call it. We put it on the menu. We just released a new menu back in March, and we tried this ricotta bite from one of our suppliers, and right as we sent the menu off to get printed, we started ordering all the stuff to come in so that when the menus got in, we could release the new product, and the ricotta bites were discontinued.
That figures.
But they're on our menu, so I have to come up with something. So actually, I spent the last, 2 months, 2 months now, perfecting a ricotta bite recipe that I just...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that just came out yesterday, actually.
What everyone really wants to know about are the Dino Nuggies. Are those coming, or are they out yet?
No, the Mac of the Month. Mac of the Month is every month we do a different Mac of the Month. We've done orange chicken. The first one we did was a poke bowl mac and cheese. It was really good. People were a little iffy on it because it was.
It's not things you would usually imagine together, but it was actually really good.
Yeah, but this month it's April. It is Easter. But Easter happened to fall on 4/20 this month, or this year. So we couldn't help ourselves. And we released, we called it the Stoned Age mac and cheese. and it was Dino Nuggies, crushed up Doritos, and one of our Fireballs on top of our house mac and cheese.
Like the meat here.
Yeah. And people absolutely love it. Like, I mean, it's just your basic comfort food. Mac and cheese is what it ended up being, and it was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about keeping the Dino Nuggies around.
You might just need to put it on the next menu update and just leave it there, man.
Because like one night I just needed something to eat, and I didn't want to really put too much thought or effort into it. So I just went and grabbed a handful of Dino Nuggies, threw them in the basket, grabbed a handful of fries, threw it in the basket, dropped it, and it came up, and I just dumped it into a bowl. Got a bowl of sriracha and
Is it normal in the food service industry to just randomly cook shit on the fly?
Yes, absolutely it is. Actually, I've been doing a Korean barbecue wrap for myself, where I just take some of the grilled chicken and I toss it with the Korean barbecue
you hear
sauce.
that? He's hiding all the secret menu items for himself.
I'm the owner. I can do whatever I want.
It's true. No, Ruth's in charge.
It's true.
Ruth
Yeah.
is in charge.
I'm the owner. I can do whatever I want unless Ruth says otherwise, and then I do whatever Ruth says. But yeah, I might keep the Dino Nuggies around. I feel like, you know,
People love Dino Nuggies.
at 1 o'clock in the morning, whenever you've been out playing games all night, what would
Bar hopping.
Yeah,
and
what
stuff
wouldn't
like
hit
that.
better than a bowl of Dino Nuggies and waffle fries?
And some ranch and ketchup.
So
Yeah.
let me know. Should I keep Dino Nuggies on the menu, or should I just get rid of them altogether? You let me know.
They're gonna say keep the Dino Nuggies.
I hope you say keep the Dino Nuggies, because I kind of want to keep the Dino Nuggies at this point. Like, what else do I have? Sure, we talked about the food. We can talk about drinks. We had a person early on that helped develop a great drink menu. The Rogue One, obviously, is absolutely fantastic. Our house old fashioned. The most popular drink, hands down, the most popular drink, the one we sell the most. Can you guess what it might be?
I would have thought it would be that one.
This is actually top three. I believe it's top three. But the most popular drink that we have on our menu is the Darth Mule. It's a blackberry. I always get this mixed up. We have a blueberry mint and a blackberry basil. Or it might be the opposite way. Blackberry mint and blueberry basil. It's one of those two. But it's the blackberry syrup with encrypted vodka. Encrypted is local to St. Louis. 1220 Spirits. They're the same people that it's who makes it? Is that I'm going to say the wrong. Four Hands. That's who it is. Four Hands. Four Hands here in St. Louis created a spirit company, 1220 Spirits, and their encrypted vodka and their origin are absolutely fantastic. So we use their encrypted vodka and we make a mule with this syrup and the encrypted vodka, and it's absolutely fantastic. People love it.
I like the Seven Strife.
Yeah, that is also a good one. That one might be going away actually.
I'll get over it.
It's one of those that's really good, but it's controversial, is what it is. Like it's a set of flavors that I couldn't even tell you what's in. I can't even tell you what's in it, to be perfectly honest. But it's like very floral.
It figures I'd like the one no one else does.
Yeah. So that one I think is going away.
If I had to guess after that, man, I don't know. But
Trinity's Cosmo is also a popular one. Spellbound Sangria. It's a great sangria. And actually coming up to summer, I'm sure that's probably going to start going. We actually have a new one coming out called the Druid's Retreat. It is very floral forward cocktail with a Prosecco float, which is absolutely fantastic for a hot summer day. So check that one out when it releases here shortly.
do you still do the Dirty 20 Punch?
We do have the Dirty 20 Punch, yeah, actually. And actually, during our 6-month anniversary, we did a limited edition. It was the limited edition Dirty 20 Punch, Tasha's Cauldron of Tasha's Cauldron.
Tasha's Cauldron, that's clever.
Yeah, and I wanted to do one at this point with Fizzband's Treasury, but I would have had to come up with a version of the D20 Punch for every color of dragon. And
no.
I just
That's a lot.
So last month we did April Showers, This month we did Mayflowers. So the last month was a kind of a dark and stormy drink, kind of look cloudy. This month is Mayflower, so it's very floral forward. It's got I'm pretty sure it's the Origin, which we talked about with 1228 Spirits, Morpho, which is a gin, but it's very floral gin, and then elderflower liqueur and syrup. I can't remember what it is, but it's absolutely fantastic. They did a great job coming up with it, and that'll be released on the first of the month, which I think is Thursday, actually.
Yep.
Speaking of the first of the month, this next week actually marks a very important day for us.
It does.
On May the 4th, because when you're trying to open a nerdy restaurant, you also look for very significant days to open the restaurant. And when we finally get past all the inspections and got permission to open our restaurant, we were looking at the calendar and like, all right, what day are we going to open? We could have opened on Friday, the 3rd of May, but we decided that Saturday, May the 4th, would be better. So next Sunday is actually a very important day because it's our 1-year anniversary. So
made it.
One whole year. I still can't believe it.
It's been chaos.
It feels like it's been 5. It feels like it's been 5 years.
It does.
The last 4 months has been the longest 3 years of my life. Yeah, no, I don't know. I couldn't be happier. This is exactly what I've been wanting to do. I have a great team of great people. It turns out when you open a nerd bar, all the great nerdy people come out of the woodwork and want to work for you. So I have my pick of the best people, and I think I did a good job of picking them.
If I were good at customer service at all, I would want to work here.
You don't want to work. You don't want to work.
I'm not allowed to work retail.
Service industry. No. Service industry specifically. Yeah.
I can't.
You could almost do retail. I think you could do retail, not service industry. I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't hire you. I'm sorry.
I would judge you if you hired me.
So yeah, next week, come celebrate with us. We're gonna have lots of activities. We'll have Aaron, the person I mentioned earlier, who's running the house game with me. He's going to run. He built a 100-room dungeon that he was going to run for an event a couple weeks ago. Ended up not happening. I feel super bad because I asked him to help me out with. I was like, hey, I wanna do this event. During this event that's happening, I want to run a 100-room dungeon. Can you help me build it? And I started shooting ideas at him. I think. You know that part in Hamilton where it's like
Drama kid.
John Jay got sick after writing 5. James Madison wrote 29. Hamilton wrote the other 51. Yeah, so I think I gave him like 15 to 20 ideas, and he wrote the idea for the other 80. I think he didn't get sleep for 2 straight days. And I feel super bad. Aaron, if you're watching, thank you so much for all the work you put into that dungeon. I'm excited to have it actually run on our anniversary. You're going to do a great job with that. Thank you so much. So he's going to run that dungeon on our anniversary.
Are you going to have time to do this?
I hope I'm going to have time to do it. The goal is to do it. Maybe I'll have to have 2 other people do it next week. But I should be fine. Ruth will probably be here and be running the restaurant or she'll be sitting here with me. I don't know. We're going to have to figure out how next.
Getting her on here.
Yeah. We'll be doing that. Ruby, actually, an event that happens every Sunday is Crafts and Cocktails. And Ruby runs that. They are our social media managers. So most of the stuff you see on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, most of that stuff is them. And they host Crafts and Cocktails every Sunday. They're actually over there right now doing that. So next Sunday, one of my other employees has a 3D printer. And all the helmets and everything that you see in here, they're gone today because he's at Four Brothers Meadery down in Jefferson County doing an event where he's hopefully selling a lot of stuff. Good luck, John. He's 3D printing these little puzzles, and they're X-Wing fighters. They are the... what's the one that Darth Vader flies? The TIE Fighters. So X-Wing TIE Fighter and a Tauntaun. These little 3D model. So like they come in a flat sheet, and you pop out the pieces like you would a 3D car, and you build them.
That's cool.
So we'll have those for people to build next Sunday. We're going to have a costume contest, so come in your favorite cosplay. Star Wars.
Not me participating.
Yes.
I won't have the time that day.
Yeah, because you'll be working that day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She on our opening day last year, she came full tiefling get up. I wish I could share a picture with you right now. Maybe I'll share that on social media.
I mean, if they want to check out the Peggy TikTok, they'll see some of it on there.
That's fair. So yeah, we'll have a costume contest where if you come in your favorite cosplay, we're going to choose our favorite and we'll give out a prize for that. We suggest Star Wars themes since it is May the 4th. It is Star Wars Day. You don't have to though.
Yeah.
And we're not going to be biased based on Star Wars. We just, we'd love to see a lot of Star Wars cosplay come through. So we'll have a cosplay contest. We'll give prizes to our favorite. There's also a scavenger hunt that we'll be releasing that week as well. I think that should be coming now. Check our socials on Monday. That should be releasing on Monday. There'll be a scavenger hunt. So what we're going to do is we're going to put out a list of tasks for people to complete inside of our store. One of them that's required is taking a pic with Peggy, taking a selfie with Peggy. We're going to talk about Peggy here in a little bit. But then there's going to be there's 2 portal cats from the game Portal. In the bar, you have to find those 2 and take a picture. You do as many tasks as you can on the list. In order to enter, you have to have at least 5. 1 with Peggy plus 4, and we'll draw prizes. We're hoping that it'll last all month. We're hoping this is something that people will participate in all month. But at least next week, wait for that and check it out. Come in, participate in the scavenger hunt. There'll be great prizes for that as well. We'll be releasing some merch. We have some T-shirts on the way, actually, for next week as well.
Nice.
So just lots of stuff happening on Sunday next week. So if you're...
And the best place to find this is Facebook?
Facebook and Instagram, yeah.
Facebook and Instagram.
Follow us on both of those. All information that we have for that event will be dropped on that during the week this week. But yeah, if you don't have any plans for next Sunday, this is the place to be. I personally think. So
get
come
here
check
eventually.
Come check us out. Besides that, other events that we have, we do so many events. We have so many one-off events that it's impossible to list. But ones we do on a regular basis, there is trivia night every Tuesday. One of our friends actually has been putting together the trivia night, and he does a great job. His name is Kevin. You can actually follow them on Facebook. They have a Facebook page now, K&B Trivia. If you look them up on Facebook, you can follow them. They come in on Tuesday, and they do trivia for us, and they do a great job. We love them. Occasionally, we take a Tuesday.
You've never cheated at trivia.
I've never texted Sarah and been like, give me the answer to this question.
They're usually like early 2000s YouTuber questions or something like that.
Or questions about Neverending Story.
Or, yeah.
I could Google them, but that feels more like cheating than texting somebody who isn't present at the bar at the time.
Listen, I don't know much about things, but when I do, give me a little credit.
So trivia on Tuesdays. Occasionally we take a Tuesday off because there's this group called Puzzled Pints. And they come in, they've hosted here a couple... Puzzled Pints.
Okay.
And they come in, I think it's the second Tuesday of the month is when they meet. But they space it out. They don't come to us every second Tuesday. They go to different bars. They're a really great group, too. You should check them out as well. But they do, not like jigsaw puzzles. This is like mind game puzzles, where they give you sheets of paper that have a bunch of mind games on them. And they're really cool. We really enjoy doing them. And when they come in, they almost fill up our entire restaurant. The last time they came in, it was a rough day. We actually ended up having to stop taking food orders because there were so many food orders that came in all at one time that we just couldn't put out the food. But they're great. But besides trivia and that, on Wednesdays, we talked about it. There's the house campaign. Rich, who's behind the cameras, doing a bunch of work right now. He hosts an Adventures League style game. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rich. It's currently in Wild Beyond the Witchlight. You're up to Vecna now. Okay, cool. So they're doing Vecna now, which is absolutely. I haven't actually read that module. That sounds like a really cool module. But he does it Adventurers League style. He actually runs it here on Wednesdays, but also runs it at game night on Tuesdays. So just that way he can. He's a great DM. We do have occasional other DMs. There's a group of kids that actually come in. I'm not sure if their table is open, but they come in on Wednesday nights and they just have a bunch of kids that are like 12 and under playing D&D. They're really cool. And then there's a house campaign where we've had as many as 20 people join the house campaign before.
Yeah.
It's been kind of a low attendance. We have people come and go. I try to run it West Marches style. If you're not familiar with West Marches style, it is a style where you can basically jump in and out. I'm going to try to do better, though, on the next campaign because they've kind of just taken over and just gone out into the world, and they refuse to go back to the city that they're supposed to recruit back to every time.
Wow. That's never happened to me.
So anyway, so the idea with the West Marches style is that there's like a central city.
Right.
And there's like a job board. And you go out and you do a job, but then you come back to the city at the end of the day to regroup, recamp, grab a new group, go do a next adventure. They've just traveled the entire continent.
They're just like, nah, sandbox.
Yeah, basically. So still, we encourage people to come and go as they please. It is a style of game where, hey, maybe you're out adventuring this area too, and you just happen to come across the main party and you hop in. So if you're interested in D&D, please feel free. We're more than happy to get you in one of the tables. Again, last week there was 12 people. I missed it. I should have been paying more attention, but as I walked out, I realized there was like 12 people. But I had already committed to going home with Ruth, and I was like, well, good luck, Aaron. But he's great. He handles it very well, and I think people are having fun. People keep telling me they're having fun. They keep coming back. So,
that's what matters.
Yeah, so I guess they're having a good time. Thursdays we have a couple of different events. There's a game dev group. There are a bunch of there are a bunch of local independent game developers that just kind of get together and talk about developing games. And they open up their tables to people who maybe aren't game devs to sit and ask questions and
learn.
Yeah. Actually, Kit, who has done some artwork for this podcast. I don't know if you see any of the artwork currently. Probably not. She did this. She painted this behind us.
I got you.
She's very artistic as well. Is a part of that group. And so she'll probably correct me later after this. But they get together. They talk game developing. They again open it up so that they can educate people who maybe don't know about game or maybe are interested in getting into game developing.
Yeah, because that's a really daunting thing to just jump into.
Yeah.
And start Googling how to become game developer.
How do gaming? So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, they're an open event. Feel free. Keep an eye out on our socials. Come to that. But that's, I think, the second Tuesday of every month. There's a board game meetup group that comes the first and fourth Thursday of every month, where they put out board games. They invite whoever to come and play. Obviously, if you've got a 6-player game, they can't have 8 people in the game. But
right.
They're very welcoming, very accommodating. They're a really cool group too.
What's the one that comes in on Fridays and plays over there?
Oh, that Friday nights. There's a group. It's called FGC. I always get it wrong because there's FCG, Fresh Cut Grass from Critical Role, and there's FGC, which is Fighting Game Club, I believe. And they are a group of people. They do. They bring their own consoles. They bring their own monitors. They take up the whole bar side of our restaurant. And they play Tekken, they play Street Fighter, they play Mortal Kombat. I think recently some people have been bringing in, what's the Nintendo one?
Wii?
No.
I'm old.
With Smash Brothers. You can have my nerd card now. I'm so sorry.
It's a long day.
They've been doing Smash Brothers recently too. Oh, and speaking of Smash Brothers, every other Tuesday, there's a group that comes in and plays Melee over there. It's kind of the same situation. They bring their own consoles. They bring their own games. But yeah, so
Like the old school days when you used to drag extra tube TVs to your friend's house, bring your extra Xbox so you're not screen watching and play
fortunately you're
Halo
not.
2 from different rooms.
Fortunately, you're not carrying tube TVs these days.
Yeah.
It's monitors that are. And yeah, they set up. They play all night. Some nights they leave a little early, but most Fridays I'm kicking them out at 1:30. They play all night. They used to play at a game store, and game stores close at 10 o'clock. So they get there at like 7 o'clock. They get all set up. They play for a few hours, and then the game store would be like, no go.
Yeah.
And
You lose track of time playing games.
Yeah.
You need about as much time as when you play in D&D to play video games.
yeah,
really.
so the fact that we're open to, I think they enjoy having us here. They come in, they filter in from 7 to. I have people coming in at midnight sometimes for that group, and they sit and they play sometimes until 1:30, or they may be done playing and they just sit around and chat. They're a really cool crowd as well. So if you're interested in that, come and check it out. But also on Thursdays, we started not partnering necessarily, but inviting in. It's a group called Painting on the Rocks. And last time they did like a Kirby painting. This time they're going to do a baby. Baby Yoda.
So it's like one of those little community sit-down paint things.
Yeah. They set up tables. They have easels and
Okay.
and canvases, and they have a picture, and you're supposed to basically.
My mother did one of those recently. I would like a painting now. It just feels so good to say that.
Her mother may or may not be watching. We don't know right now.
Probably. I want you to paint me a dragon. You got this.
Am I missing any events?
Probably.
Why does it? I think I'm missing a.
Oh, no.
Oh, trivia this week. I was confused. Trivia categories. If you're interested, trivia Tuesday night. Categories are I can dance to that, general knowledge, spoiler alert, and book titles. Swap a letter. Now you may be asking yourself, what do any of those categories mean? The idea is to be. The idea is to be a little vague.
Right.
So, like, it gives you a hint as to what the category might be about, but that way you're not sitting here studying.
Like, oh, it's going to be about, 80s rock. Oh, I'm going to put some rock set on, catch up on this.
Right. Let's see, am I missing any events? Oh, karaoke. We do karaoke every third Saturday. And it turns out when you put a bunch of nerdy theater kids in a room together, you have a great time at karaoke.
Even if you don't sing, you can, watch. It's great.
Yeah. I don't mean to brag or anything like that, but his name is Bob. He on Facebook, you can follow him, Bob's Crazy Karaoke, crazy spelled with a K. Great job. He's been doing this it used to be his full-time job, but he's kind of cut back a little bit. He does us every third Saturday, but he does another place every Friday. I think that's kind of all he does right now. He might do occasional parties. Anyway, I digress. I don't mean to brag or anything like that, but he's like, man, you guys, some of the best singers here. And I'm like, hey,
It's all the theater kids.
it's all the theater.
You.
Yeah, no, all the kids who grew up singing Disney and Phantom of
Can't
the
go wrong with
Opera.
Disney.
Yeah. So yeah, come check out karaoke every third Saturday, starting at 9 p.m. until 1. Absolutely fantastic. Some nights you're getting 3 or 4 songs in, but here lately it's been kind of busy. You're lucky if you get 2 sometimes, actually. We've had as many as 40 people in line waiting to sing a song.
Wow.
Yeah. Crafts and Cocktails. We talked about Crafts and Cocktails. That's every Sunday. And Painting on the Rocks. I think I covered all of our events.
The routine ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about food. And then, again, the space is intended to just be a comfy place. One of the best reviews that I've gotten, personally, is there was a couple that came in, and they sat here and they played games. It was just 2 of them. I don't know what games they were playing, but they were playing games. And the review they left said, it was like spending an evening at home with my wife, but with a server and a full bar.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we wanted to be. We want to be that space where it's chill, it's a little quieter. Our music, we do have music playing, but when it's loud enough, you don't even hear it sometimes. And that's kind of the vibe we want, where if it's quiet, the music sets an ambiance. If it's loud and people are here playing games, you may not even hear it. But the idea is to just be this nice, relaxing place where you can go and enjoy an evening with your partner or or play a game with your friends, whatever the case may be. That's kind
And
of
kids are welcome.
And the
Very
vibe-
kiddo friendly.
Very kiddo friendly. We actually have high chairs and changing tables. So as little as 0 years old to 99. What is it? Lego? Lego's like 1 to 99.
We're Lego.
Yeah, we're Lego.
Wait, we're not Lego.
We're not
Lego.
Lego.
Come after us, Lego.
Except unless you want to partner, in which case come after us, Lego.
We like building stuff.
Yeah, there's actually a Lego group that comes in occasionally, and they talk Lego stuff. I don't know what they talk. They come in and they have a meeting. They're not sitting there building anything, but they bring in like cases of Lego pieces, and they sit there and have a meeting and they talk about something. Don't know what it is.
Hey man, that's their interest. Mine is Arcane. I'll talk to you about Arcane forever and ever.
And so maybe that should be a podcast that we do. You and I just sitting here and talking about Arcane.
About Arcane, I'll come back for that.
Yeah, fair enough.
If you pay me.
But yeah, so like even all the way down to like the decor in here, we try not to be too obtrusive with the decor. You go to some places. One place, do you remember that breakfast place we went to? I'm not going to name any names, but some of you might recognize this. They're like they let people sign the wall, but the problem is that it just becomes dirty almost. Like they're not dirty. They're great place to go eat. But
Just to see a smudgy marker.
9 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday when you're just trying to go have a nice quiet breakfast and they've got loud music playing and every
everything's
surface
just so overstimulating.
Yeah, it wasn't the best experience. I can understand, like I get where people would love to go, but it wasn't for it. It was not a quiet vibe that we were looking.
Not our vibe.
Not our vibe. But all the way down to decor, and one decor piece I wanted to specifically talk about was Peggy. Peggy has kind of become our mascot. She is our lovely beholder mascot. I point as if you guys can see behind the cameras. She's lovely, and she was made by yours truly, who spent how much blood and tears?
Well, if you watch the TikTok video I made about making her, when I started, it was green outside, and when I ended, it was no longer green outside.
Well, the real question is, how much of that was you actually working on her, and how much of that was you shoving her in the closet, hoping not to think about her for like 3 weeks?
What'd you bring me on here to corner me? Is that what this was? Is that what this was? Am I getting called out in public? No, it was actually really great because, I mean, she's this big giant beholder, right? And very awkward. So I got so sick of waking up in the middle of the night to this creature in the corner of my room and going, oh wait, I made that. So I moved it into the downstairs closet, and about a week later, because I took a break from her, we had an issue with her internet.
Oh no, I remember the story.
We had an issue with our internet, and our router and everything is in that downstairs closet. So the two guys that came in to work on it, as soon as they walked in, one of them came running out down the hallway. Oh shit, what is that? What the fuck was that? They didn't play D&D, so I don't know what a beholder is. And then the other guy was like, wow, that's weird. Well, that's really cool. How'd you make that? But the other guy, he didn't come back inside. He stayed outside.
Well, it was funny too because she was trying to make this as a surprise for us when we opened the space, and like I said, my wife and I have been hosting our D&D campaign, but as we're getting closer to opening, we're like, we can't. Even before I left, like I couldn't host anymore because my life is now like super busy. So we started hosting in her house, but she's trying to keep this as a surprise.
It's this big. And I'm trying to hide it. And it's because of her eye stalks, she's so awkward, and there's only so many positions and places you could put her, and I just finally gave up.
Yeah.
I gave up. I was like, look, I'm making this thing.
Yeah. And she was in a rolling chair for a while, which was super fantastic.
I had her in a rolling chair because it's just moving her.
Which, her name is Peggy. We have a miniature version of her. I think she's at our house, right?
Yeah, she's in the cabinet.
The original Peggy is actually a beholder miniature that it currently lives in our miniature cabinet at home. I think there's another one that's... Did you paint her?
The one at your house, yeah.
Oh, you painted that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, that's kind of... If you come in, make sure you say hi to Peggy. I always...
You'll see her.
Her eyes all light up, and every night when I go to turn her off, I always say goodnight, Peggy. And every time I turn her on in the morning, I say good morning, Peggy. And it's kind of become a ritual.
Well, I mean, if
at
you
this
don't,
point.
it's rude.
It's true. Also, if you're interested in watching one of my staff get demolished by Peggy, there's a great video on YouTube and TikTok where you can watch one of them get completely
Had
disintegrated.
to replace his cook. It was really sad.
He's currently giving me dagger eyes. Oh man, no, we have a lot of fun here. Like I said, I have a great staff, a bunch of nerdy people. There's a lot of great people in this community. Like I said, Rich, who's not giving us, but like setting up all this equipment. He's been here almost every week for
Fancy.
D&D since we started doing our D&D.
Y'all can probably see every pore on my face. You're welcome.
We might have to start doing makeup if this becomes a thing.
We can't wear eyeliner.
I can't wear eyeliner.
He can't do eyeliner.
But my staff is fantastic. I have a lot of great staff, all nerdy people. I'm surrounded by great friends who help everywhere they can.
I'm not great. This is the last time I'm helping him.
She says, "Is there not only Peggy, but there's like so much other artwork around this space that belongs to her." So yeah, if you haven't heard of us, again, we're Dirty 20 Bar. This is Dirty Talk, a nerd podcast. Hopefully, first of many. We hope
Come back and check them out next week.
Yeah, we hope to really just
Come.
create.
No. Only watch the podcast if you can't make it here. Otherwise, we'll
Come
see you.
watch it live. Like we are live at Dirty 20 right now. So if you want to come in on a Sunday evening and watch a couple of nerds talk nerdy stuff live in person, feel free. Otherwise, you can find us here hopefully most Sunday evenings to talk dirty.
Talk dirty?
To talk dirty. Anyway, thank y'all so much for joining us tonight. I hope to see you soon and have a great night.
See ya.